This is Homeowner Talk Radio with your host, Mark Evinger. Now, here's Mark.
All right, next up on the show is Michael Goldberg, the president of Efficient Fleets. We're going to talk about tracking, GPS tracking dash cams. So, Michael, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks, Mark. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. What's GPS tracking?
GPS tracking is basically a tracking device that we install in your vehicle, and then it'll report the location of that vehicle in real time, and then you can track it on a mobile app or on your phone, on your computer, and see history and all the activity of that vehicle.
Okay, how long has this technology kind of been around for commercial use?
GPS tracking for commercial use has been around for probably a good, I'd say since the late 90s, so a good over 20 years in a much more expensive than it is today. But I would say around that time, maybe even early 90s with trucking and some large ocean liners and things like that could really afford the really expensive stuff in the early 90s. So maybe almost 30 years now.
When did you start working with the police department on the GPS stuff? What year? Do you remember what year that was?
I was working there. This would have been 99, 2000.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that would have been, yeah.
I remember, so I got promoted to detective in 1999. Yeah. So it was maybe a year or two before that they started putting them in all the patrol cars and all that, which we thought was kind of cool because we could use the map system to figure out where we're at and where the destination we're going to and all that kind of stuff was really good.
Yeah.
But, of course, that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We get into all the other things, right?
Yeah, technology's changed.
Yeah. So when it comes to some benefits with respect to the cameras, right? Tell me a little bit about the benefits of the cameras and installation, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is what our dash cam looks like. So this is it's a 2-camera dash cam. It's got a camera that points at the road in front, which is up here, and then one that points at the driver or the interior of the vehicle. And it records continuously while the vehicle is on and moving. It's also a GPS tracker. So there's a tracker inside of it. It'll tell you where the vehicle is, where it was, speed, all of those sort of things. And, of course, the benefits are going to be the big benefit right now for cameras are the liability side. God forbid your vehicle's in an accident. Pretty certain that one of our most famous lawyers out there is going to come suing you. I won't name any names, but pretty much guarantee they're going to come after you. And it's great to have that evidence in case of that accident. And then on the flip side of that, or actually the flip side, but really going along with that is accountability. You want to make sure your drivers are not texting and driving. They're not distracted. They're not smoking, eating, drinking, those sort of things. And that's going to help prevent those accidents so the lawyers aren't calling and bothering you and really, kind of hurting the business. So.
One of the things when I was doing my research on this was braking. So with respect to the employee, right, driving the vehicle, so having a camera on you and knowing, of course, that, hey, everything's being tracked, everything's being recorded, all this kind of stuff, that you actually can break risky driving habits that Absolutely. Drivers have. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. So I like to tell customers that we want to coach and help them. We want to create good habits behind the wheel. One bad habit you pick up a lot is a driver may have his hands on the wheel, looks like he's doing everything right, but he or she keeps looking to the left or right continuously. They're just always looking around. They're not really on the phone, but that is also distracting. Or they just got a heavy foot. So they're hitting the gas a lot, hitting the brakes a lot, and you get these alerts. And all of a sudden you realize, man, no wonder my brakes are wearing out so quickly. They're just, they have a heavy foot and they have a heavy acceleration. Well, God forbid, one day they're going to hit somebody. And so that's the kind of thing that you can create good habits with. You have good evidence and accountability for that. And then you can coach with that video. So yeah, I think we like to teach and coach and not punish people. That's the way I like to teach our customers.
So when it comes to like heavy acceleration you're talking about, how's the company or whoever's monitoring it, how are they going to know that?
So the camera itself is going to upload a video clip whenever one of these events occurs. So like a hard braking, a rapid acceleration, a distracted driving event. Oh. It's going to upload a 10-second or 20-second clip into the cloud, and then you can review it. If you want to get immediate notification, then you can receive a text message or email alert, or review it later, and then see what they were doing and kind of go from there.
Okay, so the camera is able to detect this fast movement or fast Absolutely. Deceleration. Yep. And then it reports it automatically.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously protecting the business against fraud, like if an employee maybe is doing something they shouldn't be doing talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of cases. We found cases where a driver, we've actually got it on our YouTube channel, a guy was pulled over to the side of the road to take a nap. And he just pulls over, takes a nap, and he's sleeping in the vehicle. And there it is, a video on him sleeping, side of the road, no need to be there, none of that stuff. So that's a great waste of time. Another example is another customer found a supervisor who was not showing up to job sites, who was staying at home, driving around, and he spent or wasted about $15,000 in time just doing whatever he wanted to do. And so the camera and the tracker are able to prove that. You know, they can know where he was, what he was doing. The video shows he was at the house or at the wrong location. And so that's some of those powerful stories that the cameras can capture. You know, things like smoking in the vehicle, if you're not allowed to smoke in the vehicle. That's become a huge issue if they're doing drugs in the vehicle, illegal, and that's come up a lot lately, unfortunately, where they actually say, I want my drivers to show up sober, and that's unbelievable, but that's what you can capture. So,
does it only work when the vehicle is on and moving, or can you have it towards even when the vehicle is off?
So it's exactly like that. So the camera, the way it basically works is it's going to be on and recording while the vehicle's on and in motion. Once it stops moving, the camera will stay on for 10 minutes and then go to sleep.
Okay.
And then it'll wake up again when it feels motion. It'll wake up again and start to record again. And we can extend that shutdown timer to be as long as you really want. Not a full 24 hours, but we could do up to about 23 before we don't want to burn out of cameras. And then you can record, a little afterwards. And that's an issue because a lot of times drivers will sit there and they'll hang out in the car for 30 minutes. They say paperwork, but maybe they're taking a nap. So that's something that we can capture.
Right, and also like unattended vehicle incidents as well. So where you've got, the driver's not in the vehicle's left or whatever, and then maybe somebody runs into the vehicle or, whatever. Oh, yeah. That's where I can see the value of it even recording then.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because this camera has a parking mode feature. So it does exactly that. So if someone hits the vehicle or they try to break into it, something causes the vehicle to vibrate, the camera will wake up and take a picture or a video clip and upload that. And so hopefully you can capture something that may have occurred around that vehicle. So
I remember with the police department stuff, it's like it was always running. And then if something happened, it would actually back up 30 seconds and start the capture there. Does this do any of that?
It doesn't really have to because it's continuously recording.
Okay.
So, and then when you get a video clip in the cloud, it's going to actually be sort of like that. You'll get the video clip, let's say it's on a hard brake event. You're going to see 10 seconds before the event and 10 seconds after the event. And then you can request as much video as you'd like on your own through the website. But that's how it works. Yep.
That's super powerful when it comes to protecting your company against liability, especially with the police department. And people are always looking to sue the police department for incidents that are happening. But
Absolutely.
For really, you see billboards all over town that are trying to solicit people to sue truck drivers and so forth. It's like if you have a company and you don't have these cameras in your car, you're just asking for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think if I say that, especially if you're a CDL holder, so the commercial drivers, the big trucks, 18-wheelers and so forth, the statistics show that 80% of the time that they're in an accident, it's not their fault. It's the fault of the other driver. And without a camera, they're usually settling and having to just give in. And so, if you're a CDL holder, it's even doubly important because that's your license and your livelihood. And it's really a benefit to them as well, to make sure that you're just doing the right thing. And most of the time they are. So
let's talk about you're local here in San Antonio, right? Correct. I know customer service is something you guys really focus on. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. We definitely, customer service is king. There's a lot of people that do what we do, just kind of like with Mike, a lot of competition out there. And we really strive to that. We respond quickly. If a camera or a tracker goes out, we want to be there within 24 hours to fix it or replace it, respond to your phone calls and emails quickly, and just provide that support because at the end of the day, it's kind of what you're looking for a local company for. You could choose anybody, a lot of national competitors, but for our knowledge and our response time, I think is really great. And we're friendly and easy to talk to.
Yeah. So like if somebody has, say 10 vehicles and then you outfitted them all and then they got one more vehicle that they're going to add. We've talked about this before. Oh, yeah. It's like you guys are very responsive to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we want to keep adding. Of course, it's good for us. It's important for the customer. But a lot of our national competitors, that extra vehicle, the salesperson probably doesn't care anymore. They got their initial sale, and it may go to some sort of internal sales team. And just satisfying that is not a huge priority. But it's not just the satisfying the sale of that tracker. It's the installing of it. So then they send it to you, but then they don't send an installer out because that coordination is just not worth the guy's time who may be, half a world away or half the country away. And so we're going to take care of that, immediately. So.
That's why I don't shop at IKEA. I don't want to put stuff together myself. I want you guys, the professionals, to do it.
Oh yeah, that's what we say. We do it all, one-stop shop. So,
all right, Michael. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Oh, great. Yeah, go to efficientfleets.com with an S, or you can contact us at 888-777-4510, and we'd love to schedule a demo for you today.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.